Hello there. Hello there. So today I'm going to do the answers for the Q&A video that you asked for. As a short intro, I'll say that a viewer asked me to make a Q&A video, and somehow many people wanted to make questions. Many is actually, well, more than 10 or 15 or something. I have around 30 questions, but some of them are from the same person, because like one person asked one question and another one asked for 7. So okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna make the video because you may already see I am sweating. It's summer in Greece and I'm melting, and I am so ready to give the land to White Walkers because I just can't deal with heat anymore. So let's answer your questions. Now what I did is I went to the comment thread on my YouTube video first, and then I went to the Facebook post that I made because I had questions on both things. So first question, how tall are you? I am 1.74 meters, and that is approximately 5'7" or 5'8", something in between. I think I'm more to 5'7", which is normal, I think. Favorite color? My favorite color is red, followed by green, followed by blue, followed by black. Okay, bands you listen to? Okay, well, I'm mostly a metal or progressive rock fan, so bands I listen to, well, it varies because it's a matter of mood, but when I want to listen to some music, I usually listen to something like Porcupine Tree, I don't know, Ghost, things like that, but I listen to many bands. My favorite band is Slipknot, as many of you know, but I'm not always in a metal mood. You know, I was like that when I was a teen. These days I just like to chill. Next question. Do you read any specific authors or genres? Well, I would not say that I read specific authors, but I do read anything related to fantasy stuff and sci-fi stuff. I'm not a huge reader like some of my friends are, but when I do find myself reading a book, it's usually a fantasy related book. I like novels a lot, and if it's fantasy novels, it's the best. So, next question. How did you find out about ASMR? Thank you for this question. I found out about ASMR, well, I felt ASMR ever since I was a kid, but I didn't know about the community until about 2013, I think it was around then. I was on YouTube one day, and as many of us used to do, I imagine, I would type random things and I would watch like tutorial videos, something like that, for craft making. And one day I wanted to listen to page flipping, so I'm like, how do I find that? And I just literally typed page flipping on the YouTube search, and suddenly I see a row of videos, and all of them had ASMR in the title, and I click on the first one, and it happened to be a video by Visual Sounds 1, who is apparently the first ASMR artist that I ever bumped into, her videos, and I watched her. It was a magazine page flipping video, and she was flipping the pages, and I'm like, okay, she's flipping the pages, I'm getting the tingles, but what is this video about? And I look up ASMR on Google and I snap, because I realize that it's exactly the same reason that I wanted to find a video for it. And I'm like, oh my god, this thing has a name and people know about it and people make videos about it. And it was the greatest revelation of my life. It just boom, like, it has a name, people know it, people celebrate it. And I just, ever since, I have not been the same, because I literally just watch ASMR all the time, before bed, in the morning, every time that I can just chill in front of my computer, put my headphones on, and it's ASMR videos again. So that's how I found out. So, next question. Well, it's 2 questions in one. What convinced you to make this channel, and how did you come up with the name? Okay, so in 2015, around February or March, I started adding some of my favorite ASMR artists that I was following at the time as a viewer on Facebook. And I was talking to Michael Tirar Adequello, and I was telling him how much I like ASMR and ASMR videos, and we were talking about the whole people making channels thing, and he said, why don't you make a channel for yourself? And at the time, I thought that I couldn't, not because I didn't want to. It was mostly the fact that many sectors of my life were in disarray, and it felt dangerous for me to put myself through the process of putting videos of myself. Sorry, I thought it stopped recording. Put videos of myself online for everybody to see. I've never done that in the past, because many people I know had some sort of channel before jumping into the ASMR category. I didn't. I was very shy. I was in a bad emotional state at the time, and I realized that at the end of the day, it wasn't a big deal. Really, it was not a big deal. And there were some things that could have been in the way, but weren't. And I'm like, since this and that isn't holding me back, then what is? So I sat down and I recorded just voice. My first video was audio only, and I uploaded it, and that's how it started. And that was it. How did you come up with the name? I was struggling, brainstorming to find a channel name that represents me as a person, or I don't know, figuratively represents me as an entity. And I realized that I was thinking to myself, I'm trying to whisper to people while everything around me is chaos. And I thought, why not? That actually sums up my life, so why not make that my channel name? The upside is that I live in nature, so when it comes to surroundings like buildings and stuff, there is none. There's just trees, and there are like 2-3 cars passing outside my house every day. But yeah, I came up with the name out of true life stuff. I think I have the most literal name that I could come up with. So, the next question. Do you read/speak ancient Greek? No, I don't. Because, you see, in high school, we study ancient Greek. Like, it's an obligatory thing, like Latin, but not in a fashion where it will come in handy to talk with somebody in ancient Greek. It's a lot like the same way we learn Latin. It's just academic stuff. The fact that I'm Greek does not mean that I speak ancient Greek. Like, there was a time in 2006 where I was still in high school and I could totally understand exactly what a ancient Greek phase meant, because I was taking lessons every day and I had to pass those lessons, and I could understand back then because I was in constant I was in constant learning process with that sort of thing. I was not a huge fan because it was very difficult for me, but many people that study ancient Greek, like for their college studies, they can, well, maybe not speak, maybe they can, I don't know, but they can totally read an ancient text and not need a translation in the modern Greek version, or in any other language for that matter. I'm not one of those people, I'm sorry. So, what other, sorry, no. What are your favorite traditional Greek foods / recipes? This is a tough question, because foods and recipes differ. Like, if I tell you my favorite food, Greek food, it's not going to be like my favorite recipe, because I love cooking, and cooking, the process of cooking doesn't have to result. Like, my favorite recipe definitely isn't my favorite food. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. I've never done this Q&A thing before. Okay, let's start with favorite traditional Greek food. Moussakas. That would have to be my favorite Greek food, which is, it's like a layered food, kind of like shepherd's pie, that it's layered, and it has deep fried potato, deep fried eggplant, what's the word? Ground beef with sauce, but not very saucy. You just simmer it with the sauce, and then it dries up a little bit, no juices, and then you place it on top of the other layers, and then on top of that you put bechamel sauce, which is so creamy and delicious, and that's moussakas. And in the ground beef mix, you also add onions and herbs and things, and you traditionally kind of, well, it's an unspoken law, but you eat this with feta cheese on the side. You have to. It's awesome. So recipe, favorite traditional Greek recipe. Okay, this is tough. I would have to say souzoukakia, because I love the taste, because basically souzoukakia are a kind of meatballs with sauce, and you can serve it with some kinds of pasta or mashed potatoes, which is my favorite, like souzoukakia with mashed potatoes as a side. And souzoukakia is basically a meatball recipe in tomato sauce, but it has like a specific herbs. I can't remember the name in English. Kimino. It's a key ingredient. I'll probably put that in the description. Kimino in... Oh no, I'll put an annotation. Kimino is this thing right here. Like, here. Okay? Because I don't remember right now. And it's a very easy recipe and very fast, and I make my own mashed potatoes. I don't really get the, mix stuff. It's not as good. So, yeah, that will be it for those 2 questions. Thank you. So 10. So much Greek questions. Like, I did not expect people to ask me so much about being Greek. Because I don't even talk about being Greek a lot on my channel, like, unless I'm requested to make a video talking in Greek. I don't really mention I'm Greek, but yeah. So another Greek related question is, which Greek god would you like to spend a day with, and what would you do? This is hard because there are several Greek gods that I would like to see, you know, like see their power in action. Since I love the sea, I'm gonna go with Poseidon, because I would love to maybe ask him to do some amazing tricks for me, and, you know, like have a beautiful ocean show. I don't know, that's probably what I would do. This is like top of my head answer, because if I did this in a manner of I'm gonna sit down and write down the answers I wanna say, I'd probably pick somebody else. I don't know, but right now it's Poseidon. Okay, next question. What is a good piece of advice / wisdom that you have adopted from a film or show or video game? I was thinking about this one, and I was like, don't think about an answer until you're filming. And I literally, it's such a good question, and it's so hard for me to answer because there's too much. I would say that I don't know exactly what the wisdom is. No, I know. I would have to say from the film The Shawshank Redemption, which is one of my favorite films in all history, I would say that the wisdom, or rather, and advice from that film is you have to be patient in life. You have to be patient, and you have to work slowly and steadily in tiny little ways to get out of the situation you're in. And when I saw that film, all I could think of is, this is a symbolic representation of my life. And I was like, I understand what this movie is saying, and like in a lot of ways for a lot of things, but relating to me, this is what I got, you know, that this is what remained in my head, that you need to be patient and work for your own personal sense of freedom. So yeah, thank you for asking that. Next question. How old are you? I am 26 years old. My birthday was in March, so I'm 26-ish, since it's July. What's your favorite animal? Well, typically dog, but I also love eagles for some reason, because I'd like to fly. Okay, next question. How did you and the ASMR Outlaws get together? Well, some of the ASMR Outlaws, the current ASMR Outlaws, were already together by the time I, joined the group. But how I met the Outlaws is, like I said earlier in an earlier question, when I first made my first video, I showed it to Michael, who was a lot like, since I was talking to him about making a channel, or rather he was telling me, why don't you make one? When I did make one, I sent him the video, and I'm like, is this any good? Is this okay? And he liked it so much that he posted it on the ASMR Outlaws page, and he was like, this girl just made her first video, feel free to say hi to her, and I really liked what she made. So that's how I got to know a lot of my best friends, through that. And from that day, I was a member of the group, so I'm really happy about that. Next question. Hold on, I lost track. Okay, favorite indulgence. What's my favorite indulgence? This is a tough question. Well, I'm gonna be honest and say candy. Right now, I am not giving into my favorite indulgence because I am trying again to get back on the diet train. Because back in May, I realized that I had gained some kilos back, like 3 or 4, and I flipped because last year I lost a lot of weight. And anyway, I'm sidetracking. My favorite indulgence is candy, and I'm trying not to have that indulgence because it's not good for me. So, next question. What? Oh, okay. I had mentioned that I would like to move to the States one day, given the chance, and I am. The question is, what state would you want to move to? I don't have a preference other than I would like to live on the southern side of the States, because in the north states life is very fast. You know, the rhythm of life is just, you know, it's too much. It's so loud. It's so, you know, I don't think I would make it emotionally if I was in such an environment. And in the South, generally, things are a lot more chill. So I would probably want to stay there, like, I don't know, one of the southern states, somewhere where there's a lot more nature there, and I want to be in nature but close enough to necessity stuff. So the South is for me, if I ever manage to go. Okay, next question. What is my favorite character to play? I have a really hard time staying in character when I'm doing a role play. Not a role play where I am not someone specific, like I'm talking about either being, I don't know, my mermaid character or my vampire character or something like that, or some other random characters with no name that I've made. But I have a hard time staying in character, not because I don't enjoy being in character, but because I get so distracted when I film for 1,000 reasons, and I need to stay in that mindset that I'm somebody else, and I'm not good at that. I'm not good at, I think I'm a bad actress. But yeah, fav character to play. I will say my mermaid, because she has many sides and hasn't showed a lot of them, but mostly she looks timid and shy, and even now that she's kind of mutated and stuff, she is still kind of like that, and I am kind of like that, so it's easier for me to jump into that sort of thing. Next question. Another Greek-related question. Have you been to Stupa, Scala, Potamnia, Santorini, or Sparta, and what did you think? Well, I've never been to any of those places. I've been all around Greece, but mostly islands, not Santorini though, and I have not been to any of those places. I know people who've been to Santorini. That's the closest thing of me being any close to Santorini, but I've never been there myself. But I have been to other islands like Kos, Samos, Rhodos, Kalimnos, stuff like that. So I've been Kerkyra. I've been to many Greek islands, but not Santorini. But it's stunning. I know that it's stunning. The other places, nope, never been there. I'm sorry. Okay. Next question. When are we invading the Eastern Bloc? My friend Will asked that question, and I'm going to answer him whenever you're ready. Okay, that was for fun though. I'm not invading anything. My close friends are so going to laugh with that. Anyway, next question. Favorite taste in music? Well, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but it's mostly metal and rock. What is your funniest epic fail in a video game? I actually have an answer for this one. One time, I attempted to play War of Warcraft, and I died, and I couldn't find my corpse. I just couldn't. I ended up in a random palace nearby, and I was looking for my body for like 15 minutes. I don't know what happened. I had never touched the game before. Yes, I am a noob. I am a failure. Yeah. When it comes to World of Warcraft, I am. It was really funny. I couldn't stop laughing. That is the funniest epic fail I've ever done in any video game. Now, the next question, I'm not gonna read it because it's related to politics, and I'd like to say I read the question, and all I'm going to answer, because I like to answer questions, is I don't do politics. I don't relate myself to politics. I am affected by politics, but I refuse to put myself in that little rut where I talk about you know, how I feel about politics, because I just don't like politics altogether. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't like politics. So yeah. Next question. Oh, this question. Okay. It's a very serious question, okay? Bear with me. My friend Nick asks, you are on a train, traveling at 50 miles per hour. Coming in the opposite direction is a train traveling at 75 miles per hour. The other train is carrying puppies and umbrellas. Given these conditions, what is in your sandwich? That is a good question. Okay, I would say that if I calculate right, in my sandwich there would be cream cheese, bacon, lettuce, tomato, but there would not be mustard because there were puppies on the other train. But given there are also umbrellas on the other train, there would probably be some normal, cheese in the sandwich. Thank you for that question. Next question. From now on, these questions are from my Facebook post. And I am sorry for any background noises. Okay, so my friend Janeska asks, do you have any tattoos? If so, where? Or if not, do you want any? Sadly, I don't have any yet, but I want definitely 3. I have not had any tattoos yet because 1, I'm broke, 2, I need to lose a lot of weight and maintain it before I get any tattoos because the skin changes a lot with weight loss, and I'm nowhere near ready. Well, my skin isn't ready to get any tattoos because so I want 3 tattoos. One of them is kind of bigger than the other ones. In my head, how I'm thinking, one of them will be tiny, one of them will be bigger. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to get them because I want them to be on spots that are not easily seen with normal casual clothes for future work reasons, because here in Greece tattoos aren't like a taboo or anything, but because I want to work in offices. Usually in offices they don't really love tattoos, so yes, I want to get tattoos one day. Okay, what is my favorite pastry? Pastry, cheesecake with strawberries. That is my favorite. That's my favorite thing in the world, really, when it comes to sweet stuff. Okay, next question. We're almost done, I promise. Has there been a character you have wanted to do a roleplay for, but have been unable to do so? If so, what character, and what character is it, and what has been holding you back? Well, I've been wanting to play a character that I've been writing, creating a character since last year, but I've had a lot of issues with getting things together because I'm writing an ASMR kind of series, and I have not been able to complete any sort of text, like a complete text to hand out, because I'm gonna need a lot of collaborators for it. I've tried to kind of reach people for this in the past, but the timing wasn't right for me and for them, and I want to sit down and make a script, a proper script, because if I don't have a script, if I don't have lines for everybody, and it's just an idea in the air, I do get people excited about it, but I can't actually tell them do this, do that. So I've been unable to play the character because I have not finished writing it. But the character is a girl named Hazel. She's from London and she can read minds, and she's going to be associated with solving mystery and a long lost crime list. But like, I kind of gave up working on this a few months ago, but I am thinking to start working on it and writing a script, and then being able to say, yeah, I need a list of people, and you're gonna have your lines, everything ready, because I don't want to make anyone improvise for me. I want to give them something to work on without demanding them to improvise for me. Okay, so yeah. Next question. Sorry, I had to cut the video because I had a cough, so excuse my watery eyes. I was coughing a lot. I don't know why. Okay, next question. We have this one and one more. What kind of dessert would you like to be, and why? I would like to be a cupcake because I love cupcakes. I think they look beautiful, and I would want to be one because I would be so cute. I would have pink frosting, and I would have chips, like chocolate chips, all over the frosting, and I would be, I don't know, like a really, really big cupcake. So I don't know why, I like cupcakes. Last question. This is one of my favorite questions of the whole list. If you had to fight either 5 penguin-sized bears or 1 bear-sized penguin, which would you choose? I thought about this, and it's a tough one because, well, it kind of depends on the might of the creatures, because if I'm fighting the tiny penguin-sized bears and they are like, not very hostile, it's still 5 of them. But if I'm fighting a bear-sized penguin and it's not hostile, again, I would you know, it depends. It depends because if in both cases, you know, the tiny bears or the huge penguin are not really like good at fighting, I think I would choose the bear-sized penguin because I think they're a little less harmless. I mean, they're totally harmless. I don't know. I think I think they're pretty cute. So that's what I would choose, the bear-sized penguin. But I would not want to fight it. I would just want to hug it, if possible. So sorry about, you know, my watery eyes. I don't know. Anyway, that concludes my Q&A. Thank you for placing the questions. I hope that my answers were okay. And I've never done this before, so I was a little nervous with the whole idea of asking people to ask me things, because I would not do this if someone didn't request it. But I always pay attention to requests because I don't get a lot of them, so they mean a lot to me. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys soon. I am messing up my grammar because I'm nervous. I'm gonna end the video now. Have a beautiful afternoon or whatever time it is. So, bye.